So what is going on, guys? It's your boy Kyberlord, and I'm back on YouTube again after a 2-week absence. I have been very busy, but I'm finally bringing you another video, and it's a video a lot of you have been asking for, which is a NUMERON test hand video. So it is going to be sort of like a short combo video and like just at random draw 5 cards and see what we get, and just imagine as if we were in a duel and then what our end board would look like and stuff like that. So make sure you check out the deck profile. It is in my recent videos as NUMERON OTK, so definitely check it out. I have made just one slight change, which I did mention in the deck profile, is I've taken out the 2 Twin Twisters and I've added the 2 Lightning Storms, which I now got a hold of. So stay tuned and let's have some fun with NUMERON test hands. So I am going to try and fit everything on cam, so I might not be using all the zones correctly. We've got our extra deck and we've got our deck here. So we're going to give it a nice little shuffle on camera. Again, I'm going to try and fit everything on the camera, so it might not all be accurate. Still using my IP Masquerena sleeves. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. This is a bit messy, isn't it? Messy shuffling. You love to see it, don't you? Oh, gonna take this off cam quickly to fix it. There we go. So, alright, so we're gonna start off, say we are meant to go second, yeah? Let's see what we get. This really hard shuffling double sleeves, I don't know why I did this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going second. We're going to put our deck here, make sure it's on camera. So 5 cards. We've got the Demise of the Land, we've got the NUMERON Wall, the Lightning Storm, the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, and the Planet Pathfinder, which in my opinion is an absolute beast hand. So let's say our opponent ends their turn on like a pretty decent board. So we're going to draw for turn, and it is the Memories of Hope. So as usual, I mean, we've got 2 things to try and clear our opponent's board, which is the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. We can destroy as many monsters as possible and special summon a Kaiju to each side of the field. We also have the Lightning Storm, which, since we control no face-up cards, we can drop it, declare monsters, and pop their front row. So let's say our Lightning Storm goes through, we destroy all their front row, so that gets sent to the grave, and then we are going to try and bait out the Ash. So we're going to Planet Pathfinder tribute itself to give us that NUMERON Network. So there it is, NUMERON Network. So we're going to activate the NUMERON Network and then NUMERON Network to send NUMERON Calling. So there it is. So say we're going to play through as if we didn't get interrupted by any hand traps. So I mean, NUMERON combos are very easy, so I don't think this video will take very long. So NUMERON Calling effect, we get to summon 4 number monsters with different names. So we're going to summon number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And as I said, I'm not using all the zones because I'm trying to fit everything onto the camera. So we've got our 4 monsters. So since we popped our opponent's board, I mean, we can either hit for 4K right here. There isn't anything else we can do towards the OTK since they control no monsters. But what we're going to do is drop the Memories of Hope. Then we get to draw 4 cards since we control 4 XYZ monsters. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So basically, we've swung for 4K. So we can go 2 ways here. So they'll be banished at the end of the turn, and we're allowed to special summon 1 more time because the NUMERON spells lock us into that. So you can either end on, where is he? On a Fortress Megaclops for Link 3, or you can end on an Appaloosa for a 4 negate, but what I basically tend to do is go for the Link 3 Megaclops. A lot of people don't have an out to it, which is very surprising. So we're going to go on for the Megaclops. Have we got anything to set? We don't. Let's say we set the Demise of the Land. So we end our turn, and then this one gets banished. We end our turn, blah, 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 blah. So remember, if your opponent pops the NUMERON Network and they special summon, we have the Demise of the Land on board. So say they end their turn, they can get over Mega Fortress. What you can do is Kaiju them. Oh, sorry, we're going to draw for turn. So we're going to Kaiju them, give them Godarla. Then we're going to special summon our Kaiju. And again, right there, swing 33 into 27. Get our Kaiju back to our grave. And then hit with Mega Clops for 4k. And that should be game, as we did hit for 4k last turn. So as you see, it is pretty easy. We're now going to draw another 5 random hands and 5 random cards, and we'll see how we go from there. Alright, so we're shuffling again for test hand number 2. I'm really enjoying this deck. I have got another deck build, Numeron deck build that I've been testing out, so that should be dropping very soon. So you'll have a few options to play. If you don't want to, I've been asked to do one without Mystic Mine, because as much as people love, like, or hate playing against it, a lot of people hate actually playing it in their deck. So we've shuffled, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our deck there. So what have we drawn? We've drawn the Honest, Kaiju, Planet Pathfinder, Numeron Calling, and the Lightning Storm. So another very, very good hand. So blah, blah, blah. Our opponent ends their turn. They end on a pretty decent board, let's say. So we're going to draw for turn. Numeron Network. Look at that. That is, we don't even have to normal summon Planet Pathfinder. We can just activate it from our hand. So as usual, we're going to drop the Lightning Storm. We pop their front row. I mean, should we bait the Ash? Not really. So we're gonna Numeron Network, activate it, send from deck. So this is where we bait out the Ash. Say it does go through, our opponent doesn't have Ash. Blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Numeron Calling gets sent to grave. So we special summon 1, 2, 3, 4. In the respective zones. So what we can do here is, swing for 4k again, and then you've got Honest, which you can drop, and then, but that's basically if they're battling a monster, but since our opponent doesn't control a monster, you can't do anything. So again, swing for 4k. Next turn we can go into Infinitrack, and then basically do exactly the same. What would have been our next card? There you go. So we have a consistent 4k hit for the next 2 turns. So now on to test hand number 3. I am shuffling on camera, so you guys can see I am actually shuffling. I know some people tend to do test hands, but they pick the cards that are in their hands. I like to go at random because in a duel we don't get to pick. It's all random. Alright, so test hand number 3. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this time we're going to go first. So are we going to brick or are we going to end on something decent? So Kaiju number 1, Demise of the Land, Numeron Wall, and Godarla, and the 1 Honest. So it is an okay hand. We can still do quite a lot. So we're going to activate Numeron Wall. So hopefully it can go through if our opponent doesn't have anything. So if you control no cards except Numeron Wall, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Activate 1 Numeron Network directly from your hand or deck. So again, I don't think this can be ashed because it's activating directly from deck. So we send the Numeron and we activate the Numeron Network. So we've activated Numeron Network. We're going to try and trigger the effect which now can be ashed. So we're going to send the Numeron Calling. So let's say that goes through. Give this a little shuffle. I'm really not going to double sleeve. It's so hard to shuffle these. Alright, so it's gone through. So we are going to summon... Where are they? I've mixed these up. 1, 2, 3, and where's 4? 4. We're going to move the graveyard to the side. So link 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are going first. So what we're going to do is we're going to link them off. And we are going to end on the best girl, which is Appaloosa for 4 negates. So she will be at 4 negates, and she will be at, it's 800, so she'll be at 3200. She gets 800 for every material used. So we end on an Appaloosa with 4 negates, and we are going to set the demise of the land. So we're going to end our turn. Now, we've got Appaloosa and we've got demise of the land. This is a combo that won me 3-4 matchups the last time I used this second locals. Now, when my opponent tried to do something like monster effect, I'd negate it. With Appaloosa, if I knew it wasn't risky and I knew he was going to spam the board, or if I waited for him to spam the board, obviously being monsters, that wouldn't really affect me. When they special summon, I would trigger the demise of the land, and you know exactly what I'm going to activate, which was the Mystic Mine. So Mystic Mine, activate it, and then they were locked in. If they had 2 or more monsters, well, more than 2, like more monsters than us, they would be locked into it. They couldn't do anything. If they tried triggering something, we have the Appaloosa for the negate. And I mean, the Mystic Mine is the Mystic Mine, so they were basically locked out of all monster effects. Regardless, if they controlled more, they were locked into Mystic Mine. If they controlled the same monsters, I had Appaloosa to negate. So they either scooped or they passed turn, and it was basically, it was quite boring because it was like draw yours, draw yours. But I did manage to, whenever I was ready to hit, I'd swing with the Appaloosa to make sure we had the same number of monsters. The Mystic Mine would be popped, but Appaloosa would still have the negates. But this was basically the lock that won me many matchups, which was the Appaloosa Mystic Mine lock in this Numeron deck. So basically, going second, it is trying OTK as soon as you can, and going first is basically just stalling till you draw your good cards, and then you OTK. So now this last hand isn't going to be shuffled, it is going to be the cards I'm going to pick. So say we've got Numeron Network, we've sent Calling, and we've summoned our 4 Numeron monsters, number monsters. So say our opponent does control 1 or 2 monsters, we are then going to go for the Numeron OTK, and say we've got Honest and we've got Limiter Removal in hand. This did happen in a matchup, by the way. It won me the last round at local. So you're going to swing with number 1 into your opponent's monsters. Obviously, it's not going to be destroyed, and we are going to take some damage. But after that, you can double all of your Numeron monsters' attack. Now, you can, if you don't want to take damage, you can trigger the Honest, but let's be honest, we don't want to do that yet. So 2k, 2k, 2k. We're now going to swing at this to our opponent's monster. We're going to trigger the Honest, so it's going to gain the attack of our opponent's monster. The opponent's monster is going to be destroyed. Now, it did battle a monster, so then it's going to double both of their attacks. So 4k, 4k. So, I mean, you can either drop the Limiter Removal on number 2, on number 3, or, I mean, number 4. Either way, you will still OTK. You can even chain these 2 together to OTK, I mean, even by number 2. It is your choice, but you have to time it correctly, and you definitely have to OTK when you drop Limiter Removal, because at the end of the turn, the monsters do get destroyed. Unless you, like, link them off or something, but remember, you are locked into that last summon due to Numeron Network and Numeron Calling. So yeah, that is it, guys. Just a quick test hand. Well, a few test hands. The deck profile is on my channel, so definitely check it out. This is a very spicy, very consistent build, as you saw from the random hands that I drew. You are able to OTK, you are able to stall. I will change this deck up a bit, and I will definitely upload the new profile within the next coming week. So definitely stay tuned for that, and thank you very much for all the support. Make sure you like and subscribe and help us get to that 1K. Bye bye for now, guys.